Okay. I have right before you is it's the Sega Dreamcast. Um, my opinion on the Dreamcast is that it just looks as if Professor Sparks. It looks like a machine that Professor Sparks would throw out of the laboratory because it is obsolete. Well, it may be obsolete by today's standards, but it's truly ahead of its time. Um, it can load games bearing the NTSC mark. And all standard music CDs, depending on where that you can get from anywhere in the world. The only thing that it does not load up is import games. You would either have to get a boot disc or a separate Dreamcast just to play your boot. It'd be a lot cheaper to use the boot disc, but I'm not sure. My boot disc might wear out the laser because it has to read the boot disc first, and then you have to swap it, and then it has to read the actual game itself. And the European Dreamcast is blue. Um, controller, the controller port's got four controllers. Looks just like it's basically a poor man's version of the Nintendo 64. Basically, it costs like $150 when it was launched in September 9th of 1999. Modem. And this is it has the NTSCU. Yes, it has NTSCU mark on the so as long as but the as long as now as long as the set the the mark matches to that of the console, the region that you find in the console, you're good to go. So, okay, so I have a couple of Dreamcast games here. Now I have a third one which comprises of two discs, which is Resident Evil Code Veronica, but it doesn't work. Um, it doesn't work because when I got the game, it was all scratched, all get out. I had it polished down, I had it cleaned, but it's not gonna be able to do nothing because a couple Dreamcast games here. One's I'm gonna tell you the difference in a minute, but for Japanese and games for this memory card is the VMU. You're going to need this in order to yes, you're going to need this in order to save data. But what it does have is it has there's no Chow. I got Chow Adventure. Yeah, I got Chow Adventure on mine when I transferred the game. When I transferred my one of my Chow and Sonic Adventure to my VMU. I wanted to experience it. I wanted to experience it to experience the game the way it was meant to be experienced. And they have like memory cards without the screen that you use on slot 2, but it's very recommended. It may not hold as much data as the third party memory cards, but it's very recommended that you to enhance your experience. You gotta get your Dreamcast. Get your visual memory unit. It's very yeah. I recommend getting the. It costs like about it should run you about like $10. It runs you about $10 nowadays. It had like a little cap right there. It's missing. But you can probably get like a little. You can probably like get brand new for about $10 or something. Used they go for about $60. They go about like $30 to $60, depending on what store you want. You insert your VMU in there just like that, and you got yourself this little screen on your controller. Now this controller, it's it's I don't particularly like this controller, but it's a pretty because of the design. A memory card slots attached to the controller. Why not just put the control? Why not just put the set the memory cards on the? I guess it's because of the VMU that you got they have to put on the controller because of the gimmicky VMU. They're so obsessed with hardware. But it's got your A, B, X, Y buttons, your start button, D-pad, and then your analog stick. But using this controller, part of the bullshit part of the inconveniences that I have to go through just to play video games on some of my consoles. So. One thing I should mention is about the differences between North American and Japanese games. I don't have any European games to compare it to. I don't have any European games to compare it to because I don't because I don't have a European Sega Dreamcast nor do I have this little converter box. But I will tell you that the only difference between Dreamcast looks the same, except instead of red, they have the blue swirl. Yeah, the swirl blue. But I'm gonna go ahead and let you tell the difference between the Japanese game and then the North American game. I'm gonna go ahead and be quick about it. This is the actual Japanese game. They're pretty easy to boot. They're pretty easy to boot up on North American console. All you have to do is get like a little boot disc, and then get like a little boot disc. Then you get like a boot. It loads the boot disc up first. Then it reads the actual GD-ROM itself. Japanese. And yeah, this is an NTSCJ mark. It's orange in the white swirl, and it says Dreamcast. It's got this little white. Ridge like thing right there. It's got this little ridge like thing like hear that sound? Yeah, it's got this little white thing. And then if you look at the disc, It it's like inverted, like orange, and if you can't reject, if you can't reject, don't you if you can if you can read hiragana, if you can read hiragana, you can actually, yeah, you can actually, if you can read hiragana, you can definitely read the manual. You could definitely you could definitely read the hiragana. It's got hiragana, sometimes katakana on the. I got this at Accessory World. Now he does have a few out of region game. Now the people that work there, their inventory has out of region games here and there. I've seen like 3. Yeah, I see. This is the first one I bought with the Dreamcast because I do plan on getting a boot disc. I got this little carrying. I got this little carrying case of Stormer Dreamcast games in. And then here is an example of a North American. There are 2 colors for this is the you got the black, you got the white label, and you got the black label. I have the black label of Sonic Adventure. Now North America, now the Japanese have this little white plastic thing. But see how it's like smooth all the way, and it says Sega Dreamcast on it. It's like smooth all the way in. See? And if you flip it to the back, you will actually see that this is a not for resale copy of Street Fighter 03. Otherwise, they just have the barcode right there, and it has a barcode right there and then it says everyone made violence, and it's got everything that you needed. Player one player, VMU compatible, 10 blocks, jump pack compatible. I'm thinking about getting a jump pack. Yeah, I just love the Dreamcast. The only thing I don't like about the Dreamcast is the region locking and the controller. And then over by the word Sega, you have the NTSCU mark, and it matches. At the top right corner, it's got the NTSCJ mark. Does not match. But there is a way around. The region lock. You can use like a little boot disc. They have like aftermarket boot discs that you can actually use, or you could just probably get another console with the proper region, or play import games. But and yeah, it's pretty much easy to hook up. It's easy to hook up. I plugged my Dreamcast cord right here, and instead of this little plug like thing right here, it's this little box. Instead of this little box, it says this little box like the Sega Genesis had. It ends with a normal plug. So yeah, it still ends with a normal plug. They finally done away with the little. They finally done away with this. Just like the PlayStation never had this little box like plug. It still ends with a normal plug, and it's similar to. And this is an AV out, and then above that is there's Dreamcast link cable that uses the serial port. And then they have like two AV cables, RF or AV, depending on which television you're using. So anyway, you have a good day, and see you next time.